Hello everyone, welcome to the Viral Report. I'm Lamar. I wanted to come on and share a disturbing event in Baytown, Texas. It's an area that's close to Houston, Texas, of an unarmed 45-year-old black woman named Pamela Shante Turner, whom a police officer tased and shot 5 times. Now, some people thought I was cop bashing in my last video where we reported on 2 Billings, Montana police officers who casually walked into Angela Whitehead's apartment without knocking or a warrant in hand. The video was not to bash cops, but to share Angela's story on how her rights were violated. So shout out to all the people who have common sense, who view these type of videos and who view that Angela Whitehead's video and then jump to those damn conclusions. Okay, back to this story. The officer was patrolling an apartment complex in the Houston suburb of Baytown late Monday when he saw a woman he knew from previous encounters. Now, police are saying the officer shot the woman after she grabbed his taser and fired it at him. Well, you can be the judge and see for yourself. Go ahead, take a look.
Pop the...
Now, the Baytown Police Department has not released the officer's name who was involved in the shooting. The police department is just saying that the officer stopped the woman for outstanding warrants. This was just straight up murder. The officer couldn't contain the situation, so the only way he knew how to contain the situation and get it under control was to shoot Pamela. But that was also to send a message to anyone watching in that apartment community that this is what happens when you resist arrest. That officer was making an example of Pamela Shante Turner, that we're not going to chase you, we'll just shoot you. How does an outstanding warrant leads to the killing of a human being, especially when the police officer's life is not in danger?
After further digging into this story, it turns out that this woman was clinically labeled a paranoid schizophrenic. She was someone who had recently lost her living situation. She was coming up on an eviction notice, and that's the reason that police had been called to her place previously. The officer knew her. The officer was familiar with the community. He was familiar with her story. This woman needed help. She did not deserve what happened to her. It's very disappointing, but it also goes down that continued trek that we have seen multiple times over, where a police officer is going to argue that he in some way felt threatened. In this case, he said that it was because she grabbed the taser and tased him. We now know from everyone seeing the video at this point that absolutely did not occur. So the officers are trying to backtrack and try to figure out a way to make this story work. What we also know is that when you are working with someone who has a verified mental illness, there's a specific training that officers are supposed to be given for this. Even the way in which he decided to try to restrain her was against everything that they are taught. So I think that we have a lot to deal with here. One, the police behavior in general, but also looking at what that actual academy, what that actual police union is going to say coming up after this, but also the way we view and treat people who have mental illnesses as well. Again, this is not something that is conjecture. She was a paranoid schizophrenic on medication, something that everyone knew.
That's even more enraging. And the officer is now on paid leave. He shot her not once, but 5 times. 5 times, guys. 5. The main reasons African Americans are continually gunned down and suffer economical burdens is because, 1, there's no modern day leaders in the black community like Malcolm X and MLK. There's nobody out there fighting your battles. 2, African Americans are the only group of people in the United States that don't have an embassy to report their issues to. The government knows this, employers knows this, and the police officers understand this very well. There's no foreign country coming to your defense. Yet this simply doesn't happen in America to a person who's Chinese, a visitor of the UAE, or a Kenyan. Why? Because those people have countries that can stand behind them. You as a black American don't. So it's easier to murder and oppress you. Because for most people, they rely on, or at least most black people in America, they rely on the Democratic Party for help. And good luck with getting old white people to help you with your struggles. They just want your vote. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this story. You know, what do you think about the cop tasing and shooting Pamela? Should she just comply with the cop's order and then hound it later? Do you agree on my thoughts about black Americans, embassies, and no country to stand behind them? Let me know in the comments section. Oh man, we about to get this party started. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe, like, and that notification bell. It ain't a party until you subscribe. I love you for watching, and I'll see that beautiful face in the next one.